viewers, welcome back again to today's session of Life Matters with your host Langwan Leslie on Bayana Community Channel. If this is your first time for stopping by, hello, thank you so much. Thank you to our old viewers. So guys, a shout out to Desiree who reached out to us a few weeks ago and requested for a video on stress. So I'm sorry, Desiree, I missed out on this and I just saw it a few days ago, and I told myself, you know what, if you have been a fervent follower, we can't afford to leave out your topic for discussion. And we all know, guys, that stress is something that affects everybody at one point in their life or another. So if you're out there going through stress, or you have just come out from stress, share with us what you did to come out from your stress. And if you are still going through it and you are finding it difficult to come out from it, make sure to watch this video to the end, and we are going to share with you guys some really cool practical ways to handle stress. These points are coming from my own experience. Like I always say, I have my own past, I have my own baggage, I have everyday's life to face and family to face, and sometimes it can be so stressful. Sometimes even what you watch on the TV or whatever can bring stress. So you know, stress is just something we really need to talk about. Not to take much of your time, let's dive straight to focus on the main point on practical ways to handle stress. The first point I'm going to be deliberating about is the fact that to handle stress, you have to first of all determine that you are going through a stressful situation. Guys, people go through stress in different ways and they feel it in different ways. So the first thing you have to do is to determine whether what you are experiencing is a stressful situation. Sometimes you confuse stress for malaria, you can confuse it for any other sickness, you can confuse it for mental situation, you can confuse it for any other thing, but you have to be able to determine that yes, this is a stressful situation I'm handling, which will give you the way forward on how to handle it. Because if you don't know what you're sick of, if you go to the hospital and they are not able to determine what you are sick of, how do they get to handle it? How do they get to treat you? Which leads me to the second point that I'm going to be talking about today as a practical way of handling stress, which is when you discover that you are going through a stressful situation, the next point I feel you should do is for you to determine where the stress is coming from, guys. Is it an external force that is contributing to you going through stress, or it is an internal thing within that is causing you to go through stress? For example, is it a family member? Is it a friend? Is it a quarrel you had with somebody? Is it something you watched on the TV? Is it something that you've listened to? Is it something that is happening in the world that is making you to stress? Then that is an external thing. And sometimes it's difficult for us to be able to really do as much to resolve the issues that come externally. Then on the other hand, if you are going through a stressful situation that is internal, for example, maybe you wrote an exam and you failed the exam, you are not happy about it, you are stressed about it, you are stressed about your future, you are stressed in a relationship, or you are about to write an exam and you are going through this fear and all of that. In that situation, practical ways to handle it is this: determining that, okay, this is more, I have just a few percentage as to how I can handle external stress, is already a way towards healing, because you tell yourself, okay, then I don't have control over this external thing that is causing me stress, and that makes you to really calm down to an extent and try to put in other efforts to console yourself. So guys, if this is an internal stress and the example I used is your case, if you are still preparing to write an exam and you are going through stress, the practical way for you to do is to do as much reading as you can. Put in as much effort as you can to make sure that you succeed in that exam. And at the end of the day, even if you do not succeed, you tell yourself, okay, I didn't succeed, but at least I put in as much effort, but it was above me. And then if you are going to go through that same situation, or you already failed the exam and you see that you didn't put in effort, or you put in effort and you didn't succeed, then that determines how much effort you need to put in for the next session of the exam that you are going to carry out. So those are just like practical ways for you to really be able to be proactive in resolving stressful situation in your life. Right, guys, the third point I want us to talk about is the fact that after determining whether it is internal or external stress, another practical way of resolving stress or healing from stress is by being able to determine how the stress is affecting different areas of your life. Is it affecting your psychology? Is it affecting your sleep? Is it affecting your production ability at work? Is it affecting your time with loved ones and all of that? The more part of your life that is affected by the stress, the more things you need to do, practical things you need to do to come out of it. So guys, the fourth point I want us to talk about is the fact that if you're going through a stressful situation, one of the things you can do, depending on how you got to that stress, for example, if you were watching something from the news and you are stressed, there are some times that you can take away from the TV, take away from news, take away from certain things that will provoke you to go through that stress until you completely heal, so avoid the thing that is causing you stress. The next point I want us to talk about, I think that should be the fifth point, is that one of the ways you can also handle a stressful situation, or when you handle, or you can also resolve stress, is by being able to doing exercise is going to help you with stress. If the stress is not affecting your sleep and you're able to get some sleep, sleeping enough sleep also can be able to help you out with the stress. Sometimes just distracting yourself, maybe if you love watching movies, if you love like swimming, if you love doing certain things that will interest you, that will pull you away or take your attention out of the stress, are ways that you can be able to also practically come out of stressful situation. The last thing I want us to talk about is that when you are going through a stressful situation, one of the practical ways you can be able to come out of that stressful situation is talk to a counselor. If this is something that is really severe and you feel like it has occurred so many times and it keeps occurring and you are unable to handle it, then reach out to somebody, reach out to a specialist, reach out to somebody that you feel that is more experienced, reach out to somebody that you can trust and share with them. Sometimes sharing and just expressing yourself helps you to be able to analyze something better, and maybe sometimes you see that it is not even as bad as you have always thought. I have gotten through situations where I'm like, oh, this is just bad, this is really bad and all of that, and I'm so stressed. And finally, when I talk to somebody, the way they analyze it, it's so different from how I reasoned or saw it, and then at the end of the day, I feel better. And if you've already practiced all these points that I've raised and you feel that this is not helping you guys, please, there are medications. Some people go on medications from stress. I don't advise, from my own personal point of view, I don't feel like getting medications for stress is the best thing to do. Immediately you start stressing out. But if you've gotten to a place where it is causing you a lot of damage, or making you go through more dangerous situation, or leading you to another sickness, please guys, visit the hospital, tell your doctor what you are going through, and if they decide to put you on medication, make sure to follow your medication until they actually tell you to stop taking it. Because sometimes if you follow it up and you don't complete your dose, you keep going back through that. So I hope this has helped somebody. I hope it has helped you, Desiree. If you have other points to share, please make sure to do it. We love you guys so much. I always say I don't know it all, and I look up to you to also raise your own points. I look up to you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can do Life Matters together. Bye for now.